You know that feeling. When a team doesn't just win, but they win in a way that, well, it feels like a masterclass.
Yeah, like a blueprint.
Exactly. A blueprint for everything that follows. It's more than just the 3 points. It's a declaration. And it makes you wonder, what actually makes a single performance so potent that it becomes this template for future success?
That's a great question.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, your ultimate shortcut to being well-informed. Today, we're diving deep into the, well, exhilarating and, let's be honest, often scrutinized world of international football.
Always under the microscope.
Right. Specifically, we're zooming in on England's recent World Cup qualifying journey. We're focusing on a really pivotal shift in momentum and perception, too, that followed one absolutely resounding victory. Our mission today is to properly unpack what England's captain, Harry Kane, himself described a perfect template for the team's future.
That phrase, yeah.
We're pulling our insights from a recent Reuters report, really dissecting how one crucial match didn't just change the scoreline, but maybe fundamentally altered the team's strategic direction. So, let's get into it.
Okay, so to really get the significance of this moment, we need to set the scene a bit. Leading up to this point, England was winning their Group K qualifiers.
Right. They had a perfect record on paper.
Exactly. 4 wins from 4. Looked good. But, for anyone following closely, there was this palpable noise around the outside, as the report nicely put it.
Noise? What kind of noise?
Well, despite the wins, there was pretty intense scrutiny over the coach, Thomas Tuchel, his tactics, team selections.
Why? They were winning.
Because the wins were seen as, well, labored, that was the word used, against teams like Andorra, Albania, Latvia.
Teams you'd expect England to beat more comfortably.
Precisely. They often struggled to break down these, defensively minded opponents. The performances just felt less than convincing for a side with England's aspirations.
Okay, so even though the results were technically there, the way they were getting them wasn't really inspiring confidence. Sounds like a bit of frustration was building.
Oh, absolutely. It felt like an undercurrent, maybe even more than that.
Was it just whispers, or was it becoming a louder concern?
I'd say definitely a louder concern. Look, the expectation for England, given the talent they have, is always to dominate those lesser-ranked teams, not just sort of scrape by.
Right.
So while they were getting the points, the narrative wasn't about flair or strength. It was more about, efficiency, maybe even a lack of conviction at times. And that kind of background pressure, it can really weigh on a squad, makes every next game feel like it has even higher stakes,
Yeah, I can imagine.
It really felt like they needed something emphatic. Not just another narrow win, but a proper performance to shut down the critics and maybe shift the mood.
And boy, did that emphatic performance arrive. September 10th. England absolutely demolishes Serbia. 5-0.
Yeah, 5-0.
5-0 against Serbia. That's not just a win, is it? That's a massive statement. Given all that preceding noise, what message does that send?
Oh, it's unmistakable. A message of intent. And such a stark contrast to those earlier games.
Right.
When you beat an opponent like Serbia, they're known for being tough, physically robust, tactically disciplined.
Yeah, not an easy team.
Not at all. So beating them by 5 goals, it's not just about the points. It's showing a new level of dominance, that clinical edge maybe they'd been missing.
It tells everyone else something.
Tells rivals, definitely. But maybe more importantly, it tells themselves they found another gear. It suggests, okay, the tactical plan clicked and the players executed it brilliantly.
And what's really interesting looking at the scorers, it wasn't just Harry Kane doing everything, was it?
No, not at all.
You look at the score sheet, Kane, obviously, but also Noni Madueke, Ezri Konsa, Marcus Rashford, Marc Guehi. That's quite a spread.
It really is.
Does that variety tell us something? Does it suggest a broader tactical shift beyond just one player hitting form?
Absolutely, I think it does. When goals are coming from all over the pitch, like that you've got your main striker in Kane, an attacking mid like Madueke, a defender like Konsa getting one, wingers, Rashford and Guehi.
Yeah, defender popping up.
Right. It points towards a cohesive attacking system, not just relying on individual moments of magic.
Exactly.
It means the team isn't predictable. Threats are coming from multiple angles, multiple positions, and that makes it incredibly difficult for opponents to set up against them. It's really a hallmark of a well-drilled, dangerous offensive unit.
Okay, so we have the scoreline, the diverse scores, but what made this game against Serbia fundamentally different from those earlier, maybe less convincing wins? What actually shifted in their approach on the pitch?
Well, what's fascinating here is how Kane himself talked about it. He drew that distinction really clearly.
Oh, yeah. What did he say?
He pointed out that those earlier games, they were often against opposition sitting in a block of 11.
Right, parking the bus, basically.
Exactly. Deep, compact defenses designed purely to frustrate. And that requires patience, it poses different challenges. But against Serbia, Kane said, and I'm quoting here, "We knew tonight would be a really big test against better opposition and better players."
Ah, okay, so acknowledging Serbia's quality.
Precisely. This wasn't just another game against a team trying to hold on for dear life. This was a comprehensive, dominant performance against a strong, capable opponent who were also trying to play their own football.
So it wasn't just another win.
No, not just ticking off a box. It was a dominant display against acknowledged quality, and that's exactly why it shifted the whole narrative so dramatically.
That distinction feels really crucial. It wasn't just winning, it was how they won, against a proper challenge. The team was described as much more impressive, which sounds like it directly addressed those earlier criticisms.
Spot on. It felt like a corner had been turned.
Which brings us perfectly to the real strategic core of this deep dive.
Yeah.
Harry Kane's vision for the team, this perfect template. When a captain uses language like that, especially for a national team, on the cusp of a major tournament, what does that imply? What's the real weight behind that word template?
Oh, the word template here is incredibly powerful. It implies a definitive strategic direction, a foundational model that they intend to replicate, refine, build upon.
So not just a one-off good game.
Exactly. It's way beyond celebrating one good performance. It's basically saying, right, this is who we are now. This is the standard. This is the style, the identity we're going to carry forward.
Wow.
For a national team, especially one with, World Cup ambitions, nailing down such a clear, replicable template, it's invaluable. It gives them a core philosophy to always come back to, even when they face different challenges or have to adapt things slightly.
So it's not just about what they did in that Serbia game. It's how they're declaring it as their future. I mean, that's a profound leadership move in any field, isn't it? Defining the culture, setting the benchmark, saying, this is us now.
Absolutely. It's strategic clarity.
So let's break it down. What did Kane actually outline? What are the specific elements of play that define this new style, this template?
Right, and he wasn't vague about it either. He laid out several key components. Firstly, there's a really strong emphasis on offensive aggression.
Okay.
He stated it very clearly. We want to be on the front foot.
Taking the game to the opponent.
Exactly. Dictating the tempo, seizing the initiative, making opponents react to England's play rather than the other way around. It's proactive, assertive, right from the first whistle.
A shift from maybe waiting for openings to actively forcing them.
Precisely. Asserting dominance through possession, through attacking pressure. And secondly, he highlighted this intense, high-pressure defense.
Right, pressing high up the pitch.
Yeah, he explained it as, win the ball back quick, and when we lose the ball, recover well. It's not just about individual players tracking back when they feel like it.
It's a collective thing.
It's a collective, immediate response to losing possession. The aim is to just disrupt the opponent's rhythm the second the ball's turned over, stop them even starting to build an attack.
Makes sense. Suffocate them early.
That's the idea. He specifically emphasized wanting to show what we can do, especially without the ball, with the high pressure, and make it difficult for them. So it's a proactive defensive strategy that starts way up the pitch.
Okay, so it's about the whole team functioning as one unit, really aggressive with the ball, really aggressive trying to win it back immediately. It sounds like a complete philosophy, a whole way of operating.
It does, yes.
Did Kane give any indication of how permanent this template is?
Yeah.
Or how flexible?
Well, that's where he really sort of stamped his authority and clarified the direction. Kane stated, quite unequivocally, that the formation and the way we play and the style is going to be set in stone.
Set in stone. That's strong.
It's a very bold declaration, isn't it? It signals a definitive strategic direction, a core identity for the team that they plan to carry forward consistently.
Who missing about?
Pretty much. It's a statement of unwavering intent. This is England's identity now. And for players, having that kind of clarity, that foundation, it can be incredibly empowering, unifying too.
Yeah, removes ambiguity. Everyone knows the mission.
Exactly.
Set in stone is strong. But I think what makes Kane's vision particularly smart here is that it does acknowledge a bit of nuance, right? He didn't suggest it was completely rigid.
No, he didn't.
He added, quite realistically, of course, there might be a few games where we have to change a little bit depending on opposition. How do you read that blend of a set-in-stone philosophy, but also needing tactical flexibility?
Yeah.
Seems like a tricky balance.
I think it's the hallmark of, well, mature and effective leadership.
Yeah.
And strategy,
Okay.
set in stone, refers to the principles, the aggression, the high press, the proactive mindset. That's the non-negotiable core identity.
The fundamentals.
Right. But acknowledging you need to change a little bit depending on opposition, that's about the tactical adjustments within that framework.
I see.
It's understanding that, okay, our fundamental approach is fixed, but maybe the specific formation or certain player roles or even just the timing of the press might shift slightly to exploit this opponent's weakness or maybe nullify their particular strength.
So stay true to yourself, but be smart about the opponent.
Exactly. Maintain your core identity while being clever enough to adapt to the execution. That's a critical lesson for any organization, really, facing diverse challenges. You have your values, your mission, but how you achieve them can evolve tactically.
That makes perfect sense. It's a foundation that allows for smart adjustments, not just blindly sticking to one thing regardless. So what was his final word on the Serbia game then regarding this perfect template?
Well, his concluding thought was powerful because it explicitly set this new elevated standard. He said the standard's been really high for the difficult games from now until the World Cup.
Right. Raising the bar.
Completely. He's essentially looking his teammates, the media, the fans, everyone in the eye and saying, okay, this performance, this is our new baseline. This is the minimum level we expect from ourselves now.
Against any opposition.
Especially as they head into the really high-stakes environment of the World Cup. It's about elevating expectations across the board, cementing this consistent, high-level approach, and demanding that every player lives up to this new, proactive identity they've forged.
And the immediate impact of this strategic turning point is huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
With this kind of performance, this result, England is now reported as being within touching distance of qualifying for next year's World Cup finals in North America.
Very close now.
So that 5-0 win wasn't just about silencing critics or finding a style. It was about propelling them decisively toward that ultimate goal. And the path ahead gives them immediate chances to apply this template, maybe refine it. England's next fixtures. There's a friendly against Wales on October 9th, then another qualifier against Latvia on October 14th. How important are these upcoming games in actually cementing this new approach? Are they just more matches, or do they serve a deeper strategic purpose now?
Oh, I think they serve a much deeper purpose. They aren't just more matches. They're critical proving grounds for this template.
How so?
Well, the Wales friendly, it's an opportunity to maybe experiment a bit, try out different personnel within the established system, perhaps tweak things slightly, reinforce those tactical principles, but in a slightly lower stakes environment than a qualifier.
Okay, a test run.
Kind of. Then that qualifier against Latvia, that becomes a real test of consistency and execution. Can they apply that front foot, high-pressing style against a team that might, again, just sit in a block of 11?
Right, can they break them down effectively this time?
Exactly. But do it with the confidence, the clinical edge they showed against Serbia. It's their chance to demonstrate that the Serbia game wasn't just a flash in the pan, but that it is truly the new normal.
Prove it's sustainable.
Precisely. For any team, any organization, really, proving that a successful strategy can be consistently executed across different situations, varied challenges. That's the ultimate measure of whether it's truly effective.
Stepping back from the pitch for a second. Beyond the roar of the crowd, what are the sort of universal lessons we can pull from this England story? Whether you're into sports or maybe leading a project team at work, what resonates here about strategy, leadership, maybe dealing with criticism?
Well, I think this story offers some really compelling takeaways. Firstly, defining a successful strategy and responding to challenges. England faced that criticism for labored wins, even when they were technically getting results.
Yeah, the wins weren't enough on their own.
Right. It highlights that results alone aren't always the full picture. How you achieve those results, the underline of performance, the feeling around it, that often matters just as much for long-term confidence and perception. And how did they respond? Not just with another win, but with a performance that clearly redefined their whole approach. That's a powerful lesson, I think, in responding to criticism constructively.
Using it as fuel.
Exactly. Using it as fuel to clarify your identity and actually elevate your standards. It's about moving from just, getting by to truly excelling.
Oh,
by setting clear, high standards for your team, your organization, whatever it is. And then, and this is the crucial bit, demonstrating the commitment and the capability to execute on that vision consistently. It really boils down to strategic clarity and then consistent execution.
Yeah.
That's key in any field where performance and teamwork matter.
Absolutely well put. So we've taken a deep dive today into how England's stunning 5-0 victory over Serbia wasn't just, a fantastic scoreline. It was declared by their captain as a perfect template for their World Cup ambitions.
A real line in the sand moment.
Yeah, a game that seemed to dramatically shift perception, solidify a strategic approach, and set a new, much higher standard for a team playing on the biggest international stage.
So here's something to think about as England does move closer to that World Cup. How do you think a team actually maintains a perfect template like this, especially when they face such diverse opponents and the stakes get incredibly high in tournament football, and particularly when the captain himself has set such a clear, high standard? What kind of adaptations might become necessary down the line to ensure they keep succeeding, but without losing that core identity they've so powerfully established?
That's definitely food for thought. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope this gives you a fresh perspective on strategy, leadership, and maybe the beautiful game itself. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and we'll see you next time.